Okay, so in the spirit of full transparency, we're going to make a recording on how to do the project. So again, we're going back into our class. We're going into our purple English class, and we are going into the announcements, which is where all of our great information is housed. So we have the Secret Garden projects, and for the character projects, we have a list of the characters, pictures, why not? And then this is where you download the character project PowerPoint template to work on. Here are additional instructions, and then the turn-in tray for the character project, because students have been turning these in since we finished the book on Tuesday. So what we're going to do is we're going to download the character project. I'm going to move my screen over so that we can see the downloads here at the top. I'm going to click to download, and it pops up. Again, I'm going to open this, and it's going to open as a presentation. So before I show what we're going to do on the PowerPoint, I'm going to go to the bottom. You will always be able to pull up your PowerPoints by going down here to the bottom for the PowerPoint or the Word docs. So you have all those projects there. So as explained in class, we have 8 characters, main characters from the book that we are examining. And so we want students to pick their favorite 4. So you're not required to do all 8. So we kind of talked about how some of us are just skipping over the characters we don't want to do, and other students are deleting the slides that they're not going to do. Either works best for us. Each character does have 2 slides, and I'll explain that in just a minute. And we waited to do it at the end of the Secret Garden because some characters wait until the very end of the novel to change and have that dynamic change. So although some people have been gathering information along the way, which is great, we wanted to wait until each character fully developed before turning this in. So we have the 2 state standards we're looking at, but this is where students are being inquisitive and asking questions. So Mary has been a popular student that we have practiced doing this with in class, and so I think it's fair we can do it here as well. So there's 2 slides for Mary. There's 2 slides for Colin, 2 slides for the Redbreast Robin, 2 slides for Ben Weatherstaff, all the way through. So the first slide asks us, is Mary a protagonist or antagonist? And I did talk to someone today, and we decided she could be labeled as either, kind of depending on where you're at with like how she was in the beginning or the end. So either answer is acceptable here. And then for external traits, so we talked about this, like what do characters look like? If you saw them on the street, what would they be like? And so I could say that I think Mary is thin, a thin girl with blonde hair and angry eyes. Okay, so that's maybe what I think when I'm reading about her. That's the image that comes to mind. Internal traits, I could say at the beginning, angry, upset, isolated, and then I could even, take it a step more and say at the end, happy, encouraging, supportive, right? And then I'm going to identify, is she a round or flat character? Again, we've talked about her so much in class. This exact information is found, not this one, but all this has been found in our recording. So round, and I can say that she is also dynamic. We talked about this week that she does change so much in the book. So I have this slide filled out. Now where we're getting a little confusion is students are like, then what's the second slide about? Boys and girls, remember, this is our text evidence slide. This is where we're identifying and showing and proving and analyzing that proof from the book. So what does the character look like? Miss Lester said she's a thin girl with blonde hair. Because Miss Lester's done this 100 times, and we've talked about this in class, we know that on page 1, it says yellow girl with yellow hair. And we even talked about what color would we all agree that yellow is, and we all decided on blonde. So that's our proof there. Round or flat, your proof doesn't necessarily have to have a page number here. If you have one, great. We talked about Dr. Craven in class today and yesterday, and how there's direct proof on page 249 of, maybe some of his motives. But here we can say that Mary's round because I don't want us to just repeat the word round here. We already answered that on the first slide. Here, we're going to say round because we know about Mary's past. We know what Mary thinks, her opinions of others, and how she is developing and has a family now. Okay, so we have all of this information now. And then we would do the same thing over here. We said she's dynamic because she changes. In the beginning, Mary is, I loved the first character analysis on Pear Deck. A lot of students called her sassy. So Mary in the beginning is sassy. At the end of the novel, Mary is caring. So she changes, right? That's what that dynamic piece means. So again, with PowerPoint, it doesn't auto-save unless you have it turned on. Click save. Click save, okay? So you totally have control on which characters you pick. You are able to fill this out with as much, like if you want to find a screen grab of every single, proof, you can. I'm not asking you for that. I am okay with you just showing that you truly understand the characters. And we've talked about this in class too. If you tell me that Mary got out a cell phone and called Dickon and said, "Hey, let's come plant some seeds in the garden," obviously that didn't happen, right? That's a misunderstanding big time in the book. So again, once you finish this, save it and turn it in. I do hope that this provides some clarification. If you need any help, again, there's lots of resources in the English class announcements. And as always, reach out.